Welcome to our Spring 2014 commissioning ceremony. My name is Cadet Alex Dayton, your Master of Ceremonies. On behalf of the Military Science Department Chair, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Bishop, and the entire ROTC program, I would like to welcome our cadets, cadre, staff, parents, families, and special guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you on this joyous, momentous occasion to give you praise and ask your blessing. We ask you, Lord, to watch over and guide our friends and soon-to-be second lieutenants as they take this next step in life. We ask you to give them courage to take on this great responsibility. We ask you to watch over all the friends and family gathered here today and bless everyone with safe travels and a safe weekend. In your name we pray. Amen. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce our Military Science Department Chair, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Bishop.
Nolan, Lieutenant General Height, Dean Garceau, Dr. Bach, Dr. Bishop, Lieutenant Colonel Meisner, Lieutenant Colonel Howie, Mr. John A. Teague, distinguished guests, parents, cadre and cadets, most importantly, very soon to be second lieutenants, good morning. I'd like to thank all of you for being with us here today as we commission the 8 newest second lieutenants into the United States Army. Now for these young men and women on stage today is the end of a journey and the beginning of another. It's the end of their cadet journey, characterized by hard work, both in the classroom as well as in the field, plenty of sweat, and for a few of them, perhaps a few tears. Now tasked to run all aspects of the cadet battalion, these seniors had a particularly challenging year this year, with the decision to close the program released in the fall, followed by the early winter reversal of this decision. As university, local, and state leadership went into overdrive to save the program, I tasked this senior class to remain focused, to ignore the storm surrounding us, while continuing to exercise their duties and responsibilities to the cadet battalion. Now, under the steady hand of this group of seniors, while other programs considered for closure hemorrhaged cadets due to transfer or resignation, the Buck Battalion lost not a single cadet. Quite the contrary, we again have topped our 25-year high for the program, with the cadet corps larger than ever. And General MacArthur once said, quote, "On the fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that, on other days and on other fields, will bear the fruits of victory." We've embraced this thought here in the Buck Battalion, and under the leadership of our senior class have enjoyed enormous success this year. Our Ranger Challenge Company repeated as Tennessee State champions, placed second at the U.S. Army Small Arms Rifle Marksmanship Competition at Fort Benning, had 3 teams finish in the top 10 at the Mountain Man competition in Gatlinburg, including a new course record and a first place finish. All 3 of these teams that finished in the top 10 finished ahead of the top team fielded by our cousins in Orange down the road at the University of Tennessee. That's my favorite part of the speech. Our cadets traveled for the first time to New Mexico to compete with 6,200 other participants at the Bataan Memorial March. Finishing 10th overall, and were the top ROTC team east of the Mississippi to complete this very grueling course. On the same weekend at the Bataan March, the same weekend, of the over 40 teams entered into the Best Cadet Ranger competition, the Buck Battalion had 2 top 10 finishes, with the 6th place finish to go along with the 1st place championship trophy. Additionally, our Pershing Rifles drill team, who you most often see as the color guard at ETSU athletic events, was admitted into the very prestigious National Pershing Rifle Society. Our Buck Battalion cadets were selected to serve as the color guard at the National Convention in Richmond, Virginia. And next year will be the first that ETSU will compete at the national level against the top programs in the country. My challenge to this group of cadets is to bring home a national championship at ETSU in the next 4 years. If any of you participated in any of the local races, you will no doubt have seen our cadets from our running club. Once again, our cadets often dominated the victory stand in all categories. Now, in addition to external competitions, these seniors on stage were responsible for planning, rehearsing, and executing weekly field training for the Cadet Corps, weekend training in the local area, and 2 more lengthy field training exercises to include a joint exercise with Eastern Kentucky University. Now think about that. How many college graduates can boast experience in planning and executing operations across multiple state lines involving multiple external entities and organizations? These seniors enjoy that experience. Well, I'm not sure how much they enjoyed it, but they certainly accomplished it. And while this marks the end of their cadet journey, I can say with the utmost confidence that these 8 are ready to embark on their next journey as second lieutenants. Now, very shortly, they will be standing in front of their own formations as platoon leaders. I'm exceptionally proud of them. I'm also immensely proud of to be able to introduce our guest of honor this morning. Several years ago, as I was preparing to arrive here at ETSU, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffress informed me that the Buck Battalion fell under the command of the College of Business and Technology, and specifically under Dean Garceau. And I would tell you I was immediately nervous. I know nothing of either business or technology. But I would tell you my fears quickly subsided as it became immediately clear that while we Army guys and girls were a little bit different than the rest of the CBAT, in some ways, we were included by this wonderful college absolutely as part of the family. And it's Dean Garceau that set this tone. As multiple Army officers have cycled through this position, she has very, and I emphasize very, patiently mentored each of us. She has supported our program through thick and thin. And while we are very happy for our Dean that she will be able to enjoy more time with her husband Al and the rest of her family in retirement, for the Buck Battalion it feels as though we are losing one of our family. Man, you will be missed. But just a bit more on the impressive career of our distinguished guest. Dr. Garceau, as Dean of the College of Business and Technology, leads a college of over 2,500 students, encompassing programs in business, computer science, engineering technology, digital media, construction management, interior design, fashion and interior merchandising, and surveying. And if that isn't enough, in addition to these rather traditional programs, Dean is also proud to include military science among the CBAT ranks, more affectionately known as Garceau's Army. Dr. Garceau holds master's degrees in accountancy and business administration and a doctorate of business administration. The Dean serves on numerous civic and professional boards and committees, and to name just a few, the Mountain States Health Alliance System Board, Junior Achievement of Northeast Tennessee, March of Dimes of Northeast Tennessee, the Johnson City Rotary Club, and St. Mary's Church Finance Committee. Dr. Garceau and her husband Al, who is also with us today, have 2 children, Devin and Drew, and 3 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very proud and honored to have Dean Lyndon Garceau as our guest speaker this morning.
Thank you very much, Colonel Bishop. Good morning, all. Today and tomorrow are going to be very eventful days in my life. This will mark my last commissioning ceremony, and tomorrow, my last graduation. 60 graduations I've attended, but who's counting? When I step down from the stage tomorrow afternoon, I will step away from university life after a career that has spanned over 4 decades. I remember when I graduated, and you can do some quick math, I graduated in 1970. I was in Hartford, Connecticut with my first employer, and I remember getting something from the Social Security Administration. And it says, when you retire in 2013. Well, 2013 has come and gone, but I still remember thinking back, 2013, that's forever. If I can give the cadets, our new second lieutenants, a piece of advice, it's not going to be forever. Seize every day, savor every moment. Your careers will be so important to you. I was somewhat overwhelmed when Colonel Bishop asked me to speak at this ceremony. Typically, a speaker at a commissioning ceremony has been a retired professor of military science, a retired general, or other senior officer. As you can probably guess, I never had any military service behind me, perhaps excluding being a date to multiple military balls when I was growing up. I don't know if that counts or not. Thus, when talking to you, I feel a little bit out of my element. You know, as any good speaker might, I asked my host, Colonel Bishop, about what would you like me to speak? Well, he considered the question for a moment or two, and he replied, about 5 minutes, ma'am. Keeping that in mind, and knowing that the cadets on this stage are the most important part of the ceremony, I'm going to speak briefly about what makes military science, the experience of military science, unique to an outsider looking in. When observing our cadets in the military science program, I've always been struck by the strong relationship that our cadets have with one another. If you know my office, I'm perpendicular to Memorial Hall, where the military science program is housed. I look out on the Memorial Lawn, so I often see our cadets coming and going. They travel in packs, I can assure you. You always see them together at soccer games, at volleyball matches, at basketball games. You see them walking across campus in groups of 2 and 3, engaging in conversation. They are highly visible. It's not the camo that they might be wearing. It's not their short hair, their lack of tattoos or body piercings, at least that I can see, that will make them stand out. They have something far more special. These are bonds that are going to last their lifetime. On the surface, you could say birds of a feather flock together. It's true that people who share common characteristics gravitate to one another. But let's talk about the so-called feathers that the cadets share, because it's obvious that they differ by gender, by race, ethnicity, religious affiliation, field of study, where they came from, and the type of family in which they have grown up. In other groups, these attributes more often than not bring people together, but not necessarily our cadets. Think of it, on a college campus, we have fraternities and sororities, gender-based. We have religiously affiliated student organizations, Baptists, Methodists, Catholics, students who join together. We have organizations for African American students, our Chinese students. These organizations really depend upon common characteristics. Our cadets have formed strong bonds in spite of their differences, and I will say this is something the American people should learn from. What gives rise to this special relationship? Something far deeper and far more significant than the superficial differences that I've just noted. Strong relationships in strong organizations as the U.S. Army are built upon common values. It is these shared values that they have learned during the last 4 years. And these values they are taking into the chosen career. These values are the values of leadership. And I know they are probably breaking into a cold sweat at this point. Because leadership, we drop a few letters, has 7 values encompassed in the acronym. And fortunately, there are 8 cadets, so I won't ask them to give me each of the values described by leadership. I'll give them. To begin with, L. This is loyalty to the Constitution, Army and other soldiers. Loyalty to other cadets. We drop E and A, but we come to D. Duty. Fulfilling your obligations that you have committed to. Respect. Treating others as you would like to be treated. Selfless service. Putting the welfare of your country and others before your own. Honor. Living up to these values. Integrity. Doing what's right, even when someone else is not looking. And then personal courage. Facing fear and danger in your everyday life. These are the values upon which you have forged your relationships. It is a basis for a far deeper and more enduring relationship than the one built solely upon circumstances or appearances. As you move forward, these values are going to help you shape your life's choices, helping you to remain true to yourself and true to the Army. One of my favorite parts of many commissioning ceremonies is the Soldier's Creed. I sincerely hope that whenever you hear it recited, that you will understand that it is a statement of those values, and that you will consider the rightness of the choice that you have made and the rightness of the commitment that you are making in service to our nation. As I've said, at the Colonel's suggestions, I will speak about 5 minutes. May I conclude by being the first to congratulate you on the completion of your program, your accepting of the values of leadership, and most importantly, your decision to undertake service to our country. And may I wish you Godspeed.
So I think it's fitting that we present a gift to our guest of honor here on behalf of the Buccaneer Battalion. And we struggle with this, because what do you get the Dean who has absolutely everything? And the more we thought about it, I had really thought of Dean Garceau, really having served a few years in the Army, coming to a university for the first time since I've been in college. Much easier for me to think of her as Colonel Garceau, who's my commanding officer. And that's full-birth colonel for the record, so outranking me, of course. So Colonel Garceau, as our commander here at ETSU, every commander needs to have a coin rack. And so, ma'am, and these aren't gluten play, so you have to be careful. But we got you your commander's coin rack here at ETSU. And I hope that wherever your future sends you, and I know you'll return here to ETSU very often, I hope you'll find a place of honor for your rack here, commemorating all that you've done for military science here at East SC State. Thank you, man. If you drop the coins, you have to do push-ups. And one more, ma'am. We actually, and this is a fantastic idea of Angela and Debbie. We had a battalion picture done right before our military ball last week. So I hope you also find this framed picture of the battalion to go along with the rack.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to present the ETSU Army ROTC cadets who will be commissioned today as second lieutenants in the United States Army. The commissionees are Cadet Megan Brown, Cadet Brandy Birchfield, Cadet Philip Denton, Cadet Adam Harrison, Cadet Zachary King, Cadet Joshua McDaniel, Cadet Weston Milhorn, Cadet Andrew Thomas, Lieutenant Colonel Bishop will now administer the oath of office.
solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation, for the purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
All military personnel, please rise. Attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Megan Brown, Brandy Birchfield, Philip Denton, Adam Harrison, Zachary King, Joshua McDaniel, Weston Milhorn, and Andrew Thomas, and hereby appoints them to the grade of Second Lieutenant in the United States Army, to rank as such from the 9th day of May, 2014. These officers will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the office to which they have been appointed, by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto belonging. And I do strictly charge and require those officers and other personnel of lesser rank to render such obedience as is due an officer of this grade and position. These officers are to observe and follow such orders and directions from time to time as may be given by the President of the United States of America or other superior officers, acting in accordance with the laws of the United States of America. This commission is to continue in force during the pleasure of the President of the United States of America under provisions of those public laws relating to officers of the Armed Forces of the United States of America and the component thereof in which this appointment is made. Signed, the Honorable John McHugh, Secretary of the Army. Please be seated.
Second Lieutenant Brown will be pinned by her mother, Debbie Brown, and her sisters, Katie and Sydney Brown, and her brother, Ryan Brown. Megan Marie Brown served as Battalion S1 and S2 and held the rank of Cadet Captain in the Buccaneer Battalion. The daughter of Debbie and David Brown of Greenville, Tennessee, Megan has earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Psychology with a minor in Criminal Justice and is receiving her United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in the Transportation Corps. After completion of the Transportation Officer Basic Course, Second Lieutenant Brown will seek placement in a graduate program in order to further her degree in social work. Second Lieutenant Brown's career goals include service in the Tennessee Army National Guard as a platoon leader and company commander. Second Lieutenant Brown hopes to settle down with her husband and raise a family after service in the Army. She will be married on May 25, 2014 to the handsome Andrew Thomas of Knoxville, Tennessee. Second Lieutenant Brown would like to thank all those who supported her in her efforts to attain her goal of becoming an Army officer, in particular her parents, siblings, and grandparents. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Megan Brown. Second Lieutenant Birchfield will be pinned by her parents, Benny and Lisa Birchfield, and her sister, Shelby Birchfield. Brandy Renee Birchfield served as the Battalion Assistant S3 and held the rank of Cadet Sergeant Major in the Buccaneer Battalion. The daughter of Benny and Lisa Birchfield of Morristown, Tennessee, Brandy has earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Psychology and is receiving her United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in the Quartermaster Corps. Upon commissioning, Second Lieutenant Birchfield will be assigned to the Army Reserve Unit located in Nashville, Tennessee, and will attend the Quartermaster Officer Basic Course. Second Lieutenant Birchfield's career goals include service in the United States Army as platoon leader and company commander. Second Lieutenant Birchfield hopes to obtain both master's and doctorate degrees in clinical psychology, and to one day have her own private practice. Second Lieutenant Birchfield would like to thank God for blessing her with this opportunity, as well as those who supported her in her efforts to attain her goal of becoming an Army officer, in particular her parents, Benny and Lisa Birchfield, and her sister, Shelby Birchfield. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Brandy Birchfield. Second Lieutenant Denton will be pinned by his parents, Todd and Carla Denton, his brother William Denton, his grandmother Hilda Collins, and his girlfriend Ariel Swihart. Philip James Denton served as the Battalion Command Sergeant Major and held the rank of Cadet Command Sergeant Major in the Buccaneer Battalion. The son of Todd and Carla Denton of Johnson City, Tennessee, Philip has earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice and Criminology and is receiving his United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in the Medical Service Corps. Upon completion of the Medical Service Corps Officer Basic Course, Second Lieutenant Denton will be assigned to the 278th Armored Cavalry Regiment, Tennessee National Guard in Knoxville, Tennessee. Second Lieutenant Denton's career goals include service in the U.S. Army as a platoon leader and company commander. Second Lieutenant Denton hopes to work for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations after service in the Army. Second Lieutenant Denton would like to thank all those who supported him in his efforts to attain his goal of becoming an Army officer, in particular his family and his beautiful girlfriend, Ariel. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Philip Denton. Second Lieutenant Harrison will be pinned by his parents, William Harrison and Dina Sturgill. Adam Harrison served as the Battalion Operations and Training Officer and held the rank of Cadet Major in the Buccaneer Battalion. The son of William Harrison and Dina Sturgill, Adam has earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in History and is receiving his United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in Aviation. Upon completion of the Aviation Officer Basic Course, Second Lieutenant Harrison hopes to be assigned to Fort Carson, Colorado. Second Lieutenant Harrison's career goals include achieving maximum flight hours in rotary aircraft and then either transferring to fixed-wing aircraft or completing his time in service. Second Lieutenant Harrison would like to thank all those who supported him in his efforts to attain his goal of becoming an Army officer, especially his girlfriend, Sarah Weiss. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Adam Harrison. Second Lieutenant King will be pinned by his mom, Lori Grabner, and his girlfriend, Nina Chanseri. Zachary Thomas King served as the Battalion S1 and held the rank of Cadet Captain in the Buccaneer Battalion. The son of Lori Grabner and Eddie King of Greenville, Tennessee, Zach has earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Construction Engineering Technology and is receiving his United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in the Corps of Engineers. Upon completion of the Corps of Engineers Officer Basic Course, Second Lieutenant King will be assigned to the 357 Engineer Company, United States Army Reserve in Asheville, North Carolina. Second Lieutenant King's career goals include service in the United States Army as a platoon leader and company commander. Second Lieutenant King hopes to become a professional engineer in the near future. Second Lieutenant King would like to thank all those who supported him in his efforts to attain his goal of becoming an Army officer, in particular to those to who he thinks is the best woman in the world, Nina Chanseri. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Zachary King. Second Lieutenant McDaniel will be pinned by his parents, Johnny and Roseanne McDaniel. Joshua Logan McDaniel served as the Battalion Assistant S3 and held the rank of Cadet Captain. The son of Johnny and Roseanne McDaniel of Cleveland, Tennessee, Joshua has earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Nutrition and is receiving his United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in the Ordnance Corps. Upon completion of the Ordnance Officer Basic Course, Second Lieutenant McDaniel will be assigned to Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. Second Lieutenant McDaniel's career goals include serving as an EOD platoon leader and company commander. Second Lieutenant McDaniel hopes to one day go back to school and earn a graduate degree and one day serve in the medical field or as a teacher. Second Lieutenant McDaniel would like to thank all those who helped and supported him in his efforts of becoming an Army officer, especially his parents, grandparents, brother, and sister. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant McDaniel. Second Lieutenant Milhorn will be pinned by his parents, Tommy and Cynthia Milhorn, and his sister, Rachel Milhorn. James Weston Milhorn served as the Battalion S4 and held the rank of Cadet Major in the Buccaneer Battalion. The son of Tommy and Cynthia Milhorn of Bluff City, Tennessee, Weston has earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Microbiology and is receiving his United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in the Field Artillery Corps. Upon completion of the Field Artillery Corps Officer Basic Course, Second Lieutenant Milhorn hopes to be assigned to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Second Lieutenant Milhorn's career goals include service in the U.S. Army as a fire support officer, platoon leader, and battery commander. Second Lieutenant Milhorn hopes to become a medical doctor after service in the Army. Second Lieutenant Milhorn would like to thank all those who supported him in his efforts to attain his goal of becoming an Army officer, especially his parents, sister, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Weston Milhorn. Second Lieutenant Thomas will be pinned by his parents, Barry and Donna Thomas, and his brother, Clayton Thomas. Andrew Pierce Thomas served as the Battalion S3 and held the rank of Cadet Major in the Buccaneer Battalion. The son of Barry and Donna Thomas of Knoxville, Tennessee, Drew has earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice and Criminology and is receiving his United States Army commission as a Second Lieutenant in the Armor Corps. Upon completion of the Armor Basic Officer Leadership Course, Second Lieutenant Thomas hopes to be assigned to Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington. Second Lieutenant Thomas's career goals include service in the U.S. Army as a platoon leader, as an armor officer, and company commander as a finance officer. Second Lieutenant Thomas hopes to retire from service before working in criminal investigations as an accountant. He will be married on May 25th, 2014 to the beautiful Second Lieutenant Megan Brown of Greenville, Tennessee. Second Lieutenant Thomas would like to thank his parents and family, as well as all those who supported him in his efforts to attain his goal of becoming an Army officer. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Andrew Thomas. It is a time-honored tradition that each newly commissioned lieutenant proudly presents a silver dollar to the first enlisted soldier who salutes them. The salute is a symbol of respect due to the newly earned rank. The silver dollar represents the significant contribution that the recipient has made toward the new lieutenant achieving this milestone. Lieutenant Brown will receive her first salute from Staff Sergeant James Griever. Lieutenant Birchfield will receive her first salute from her father, Sergeant Benny Birchfield. Lieutenant Denton will receive his first salute from Private First Class William Denton. Lieutenant Harrison will receive his first salute from Sergeant Chris Lewis. Lieutenant King will receive his first salute from Specialist Ryan Johnson. Lieutenant McDaniel will receive his first salute from Sergeant Doyle Hughes. Lieutenant Milhorn will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Gus Riley. Lieutenant Thomas will receive his first salute from Private First Class Jim Thomas. Standing by our soldiers is not always an easy task. It requires steadfast vision, commitment, and sacrifice. Earning a commission through the RGC program is a long and challenging process. These new lieutenants would not be here if it were not for your support and care. As they close the chapter on their ETSU or RGC careers and begin a new one as Army officers, we wanted to give them a chance to formally say thank you, and to say thank you from our battalion for all you've done on their behalf. With the following people, please join your lieutenant on the stage to be recognized. Debbie, Katie, Sydney, Ryan, Linda and Donald Brown, Kay and George Whitmire, and Sergeant Chris Pierce. Would Benny, Lisa, Shelby, Ed, and Marion Birchfield, George and Pat Skirvin, Roy and Keisha Griffin. Please come to the stage. Todd, Carla, and William Dent, Ariel Swihart, Hilda Collins, Debbie Donaldson, and Angela Hare. William Harrison, Dina Sturgill, Chris and Sarah Lewis, Jerry Schneider, and Sarah White. Second Lieutenant Harrison would like to request that Miss Debbie Donaldson come up to the stage.
Hi, those of you who don't know, Miss Donaldson, she keeps a swear jar in her office. And I bet she was thinking now she was trying to get out of here without paying her off. So, you have to put a quarter in there every time you cut. So, I bought a $20 bill, though I don't think that'll cover my tab. Hopefully it'll be enough to take care of it.
Lori Grabner. Johnny, Roseanne, Jared, Hillary, Johnny, and Sonia McDaniel, Brian Ladd, Sean Thomas, Doyle and Lawana Hughes, and David and Rita Baroni. Tommy, Cynthia, and Rachel Milhorn. Barry, Donna, and Clayton Thomas, Gene Wheeler, and Lynn Miller.
Last week between Lieutenant Thomas and Lieutenant Brown. And so we looked up the Army regulation and just thought we'd let everyone know that because Lieutenant Brown pinned on her bars before Lieutenant Thomas, she will forever outrank him. Forever outrank him in time and grade.
Please join us for one more round of applause. and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song. The words are printed in your program. Our cadets and new lieutenants will sing along. We encourage you to do the same.
First to fight for the right, and to build the nation's might, and the Army was rolling along. Now the more we have done, fighting till the land was won, and the Army was rolling along. When it's high, high, hey, the Army's on its way. How long the king's on its run? For wherever we go, you will always know that the Army was rolling along.
On behalf of the Military Science Department, I would like to bid farewell to our new lieutenants and wish them well in their future endeavors. This concludes our commissioning ceremony. At this time, you're welcome to take additional photos and join us for refreshments. Again, thank you for attending, and please join us in congratulating our new officers.